What up, everybody?
Rose, congratulations. Certainly didn't come as easy as the last time around. 25-minute battle this time. But how did you feel about the fight overall?
Very proud of myself. Yeah. It was a little tougher, but I'm very proud of myself.
I'm curious if this is the fight that you expected to have last time. I mean, obviously it went your way, but I mean, were you expecting this type of fight last time around?
I think that I was expecting it to. I didn't really have any expectations going into it. I figured that there's a good chance that it could end up being a back and forth battle for 5 rounds. But I think expected myself to, I guess, feel a little looser, and I was a little stiff sometimes, then loose, and then stiff, and then loose. So I don't know. It was a roller coaster.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to ask you about that because, like, early on, it did seem like you were a little tense or tighter.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't know exactly what it was. Could you feel that? Do you know what it was?
I'll have to go back and assess, but I mean, I definitely got to give some credit to Weili. She came out pretty strong in the beginning, and I just knew that this is a 5-round, this championship fight, so I got to pace myself.
Yeah. Obviously, her striking power well known, but a lot of talk about her improvements in grappling, wrestling. Did she impress you there? Did you feel like she had improved from what she's shown in past fights?
I think she did improve. Even maybe her distance management was really good. But yeah, I was expecting that for sure. So it wasn't a surprise that she had the improvements that she did, but she did really good.
You turned it on late, really started to take control of the fight. Do you feel like there were any real adjustments that you made, or was it more just finally getting comfortable at that point?
Yeah, it was just sort of loosening up and just committing a little more to everything. You know, I was holding on to something. I don't know why. Yeah.
They go to read the scores. I know you said you felt confident, but I mean, when they're reading those things out, does it get a little scary? Are you starting to think about, is this, are we losing this belt?
I was pretty convinced going into the 5th that I had won it. It was sort of pretty close in my mind, I guess, for the rest of the fight. But going into the 5th, because of it, such a dominant round for me, I felt as though that I won it, and I felt good, and I felt like I could even go more. But yeah, when they read her name off on the scorecards first, I was like, oh, wait, is it going to be her, then me, then her or something? But no, but yeah, judges, you never know what the judges could see. And I know it was a close fight, so I was ready for whatever.
I'm sure you're anxious to start preparing for somebody else and move on, but do you feel like you're done with her for good in your career, or do you think that you're going to meet sometime down the line?
She obviously she's really committed to martial arts and being the best, so I'm sure that she's going to do whatever it takes to try to contend for that title again. So I wouldn't be surprised, but, we'll see.
Nice. Last thing for me, I know you're going to want to celebrate, enjoy it, take a little time off, but, we always want to know what's next for the champions. I know Carla Esparza said that, she feels like she really should have been here tonight.
Yeah.
Do you feel like she's next? I mean, is that the fight that, if you got to choose, you would prefer to take that one?
I mean, she was on my mind before, I guess, going into this one. So that seems sort of like that's the logical step, but, yeah, I got to see what the UFC's thinking, I guess. But, yeah, I would love to fight Carla.
Rose, to your right. To your right over here.
Oh, shoot. Sorry. On the right.
Did you intentionally choose the Goldberry body armor right there?
No, but it is the most delicious one. No, yeah, it is delicious.
Yeah, it is quite good. Having fought Weili twice now, do you see her struggling against the rest of the division, or could you see her being like an intercontinental champion of sorts, where she's only just not going to be able to beat you? Where do you see her standing in the division going forward?
I mean, it's tough to say for sure, but I see her being a tough fight for anybody in the division. I mean, you've seen what she's done in the past, so I could see her. I could see her giving anybody a run for their money for sure, especially the improvements that she made. So I guess it just depends on how her mindset goes from here.
And when you look at the rest of the division, do you feel that Weili is still the biggest threat to you, or does someone like a Carla or a Marina Rodriguez stand out a little bit more?
I'm going to have to think about that one and get back to you on that. At the moment, I think she definitely pose the biggest threat. But now that I think it could be spread equally across the division at this point.
Definitely. Congratulations, Rose.
Thank you.
Hey, Rose, right here.
Hello.
3-0 New York, 2-0 at MSG. Some people are saying, is this now the Rose Garden?
I love it. Yes.
Obviously, you know, tougher fight than the last one, but you are a very good martial artist, and obviously it's all about improvement. When you have a 5-round fight like this, how do you dissect it in terms of what was effective and just when you look at it back, how do you see it in terms of how did I get better from the last one?
I would say my defense, I think, could use a little work, even though I have been working on it. But I think just I don't know. It's hard to say right now. My offense, I feel like, is really what pulled me through and committing to my shots and just committing to stuff. But my composure and my championship mindset is really what worked.
We saw backstage Valentina Shevchenko congratulated you. Obviously, you know, you, Valentina, Amanda, just like really, you know, 3 women at the top of the game. Just what's it like to have that kind of respect from a peer like that after a performance like tonight?
I said it before, I'll say it again. I think Valentina's my favorite fighter, definitely one of my favorites. So huge honor, definitely enjoy training with her, and I'm really happy for all the success she has, and I just love watching her.
What does an off season look like for Rose Namajunas? Because obviously you take a vacation, but you know, it's like, how long is it before you're like, you know, I need to work in the gym and just make sure skills don't deteriorate in the off season?
I would say this past year, it's been, for this last training camp, I've been training 6 months straight. And then before the last one, it was a 6-month training camp as well. Maybe I didn't have, you know, my eyes or like contract necessarily specifically signed, but I knew about something on the horizon. So I've been in a training camp nonstop, and I think that's what's really contributed to my success these days is even though I'm doing stuff on the side or, you know, just enjoying my time, I'm always trying to improve and trying to get better, staying active in the gym. And I think that's something that I've learned as I've matured is just be a martial artist and always be ready.
Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you.
Rose, right here. I asked you and Kamaru this question at the press conference, but I'm just wondering, when Justin Gaethje was fighting and that insanity's happening, were you watching it? And how are you keeping your emotions in check at that moment so you didn't have like an adrenaline dump before your fight?
So, yeah, I definitely was. I mean, every time I watch Gaethje fight, it's like, I mean, Kamaru is obviously we're teammates as well, but Gaethje just has those crazy, you know, something about the way he fights, it gets you moved. And that definitely had my heart racing. And usually I don't watch the other fight. I might check it out on my peripherals or whatever during my warm-ups and stuff, and I'm usually pretty focused, but I couldn't not watch. It helped that it was a little break, you know, before mine. But yeah, that was a challenge. And I'm so glad that he won, and I'm so glad that it was exciting, classic Gaethje style of a fight, but it was tough.
Yeah. Do you think Trevor solidified himself as the coach of the year tonight by going 3-0?
Man, what he did was phenomenal. Like, just seeing him on point with everything, and like I said it before, I was definitely nervous about this undertaking, all of us as a team and whatnot, and for him to, but that's what I always said was, if anybody could do it, it's Trevor. So I would say I'm a little biased though.
Is that something that like you're cool with how it went tonight? Maybe you don't want to make it a consistent thing though for all your fights, having, you know, all the teammates on the same night.
I wouldn't say no to that for sure. Like never say never. Having that experience and overcoming that, I feel confident that we can do it again and maybe a little bit better. But at the same time, you know, maybe there will be some slight adjustments made, I think, going into it next time. Just little more communication. But other than that, I don't know. I think we actually did pretty good. So I think it's all good.
And last thing, not really a question, more of an observation. I don't think I've ever seen a champion sit up there wearing the belt around their waist during their press conference. So I dig it.
Oh, is that silly? Okay.
No, I love
okay.
it. I actually love it. But
Yeah,
it's just an observation.
it feels good. It feels good. So.
There you go.
Yeah.
Rose, here in the middle. So
Yeah.
obviously you've had some excellent results here in New York City, like was mentioned. Do you feel like a special connection with the people here? Because they give you a very warm welcome today.
Yeah. Yes. New York City is amazing. The people here are always show me love, and like to my surprise sometimes, like just how much they appreciate what I do. And but New York City inspires me. Like I said after weigh-ins, like they're the toughest people in the world. Like this is the coolest city. Little chaotic sometimes for my liking, but I just love the environment. The people here are amazing.
Why do you think it is that the people of New York are just so driven to you in particular? Because again, there's so many fighters here. There's a lot of people who've come and go and here and there, but they, for some reason, they give you a very big pop. You know, what is it you think they're driven to?
I don't know. Maybe it's because I don't know. Maybe I'm like. Maybe I'm like always the underdog or something. I don't know. Just I wear my heart on my sleeve, so maybe that's what it is. Like when it's time to be tough, I'm tough, and when it's time to just be human, I'm human. So maybe they could relate to that in some way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rose over here on your left.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of more fighters than usual were slipping out on the canvas in the cage tonight. Did you notice a difference at all in your fight?
Yes, I for sure. Like that was the first time I felt slippery on the canvas. That was a little weird. Maybe that's why I don't know, was just standing there. But I felt it was a little slippery too.
And what was it like having Halle Berry wrap the belt around you? Was that a special moment?
That was pretty awesome. Yeah, it took me a second. The weigh-ins, I was just so lasered in focus that I didn't realize till later that, oh gosh, that was that was her up there. Like that's amazing. Huge fan of hers, and yeah, to have her put the belt on is wow.
All right, thanks, Rose.
Thank you.
Couple questions in here in the middle. You gave props to Weili earlier for her distance management, but it did seem that when the fight was standing at distance, you were really managing the range very, very well. Aside from maybe one or two shots, you didn't seem to get hit by a lot of the stuff from just a standing. There was a lot of stuff in the clinch, a lot of groundwork. Yeah. Was there something in particular with your footwork this particular camp, or just walk through that?
I guess I had to rewatch the footage because in my mind I felt like she was just moving side to side really well. So normally she's kind of just straight back and forth, and I think that was maybe sort of her maybe something that she implemented. Maybe working with Henry and them over there. So yeah, the side to side was definitely a little more challenging because it made me want to go in instead of I guess drawing her in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rose, I wanted to ask you a quick question back in the back. You've discussed your battles with trauma in the past. As a fellow trauma survivor myself, I wanted to get your tips. What do you do on a daily basis to overcome that, especially getting in front of people, big crowd in Madison Square Garden, very pro Namajunas. What does that do to help boost your confidence and help your battle with trauma?
Good question. There's a lot of things that I do. Number one is I think, having Pat in my corner and amongst everybody else, Trevor and Greg Nelson and Chico, having a really good support system is important. Having connection to my higher power is, is everything to me as well. And then, just I would say there's a book called Fight Your Fear and Win, or Fight Your Fear to Win, I think, or Fight Your Fear and Win. But yeah, it'll kind of walk you through all the different little, my sort of mental processes that we all kind of have. I realized that mental strength or weakness is not a black and white issue. It's more of like your mind is like your body, right? Like you have biceps and legs and calves and there's different muscles. So I feel like mental strength depends on the context. So in some situations. One person could be very mentally strong, in another situation, you could be really mentally weak. So it's just about training those specific areas. But I don't know if that answers the question properly, but yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Rose, over here. Sort of along those lines, I was watching the fight. I noticed at one point I saw Weili got a punch through to you, and then you said, "I'm the best. I'm the best." I noticed it looked, at least from my point of view, looked like that's what you said. Is that correct?
Oh yeah.
And was that
yeah? We were talking to each other in there
the whole time.
She was saying, well, I was saying I'm the best, and then she was saying I'm the champion, and she came out, and then I was like, I was the best, I'm the best. So yeah, we was going back and forth. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Thank you very much. Cool. Thank you guys.